Good morning. Got up early, been trying to fix my power washer, but I think the motor after 18 and a half years is blown up and unfixable. So I quit doing that and here I am. I want to read to you, and this is stuff we've read before. But there's some things that you just have to keep going back to, and right now I'm kind of in that mood of going back and rereading and rehearing what God says. Going to read Joshua, the first chapter. And we'll read down to about 7 or 8. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' aide, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give to them, to the Israelites. I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. Your territory will extend from the desert to Lebanon, and from the great river, the Euphrates, all the Hittite country to the great sea on the west. No one will be able to stand up against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their forefathers to give them. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. May God bless this reading and this hearing of His Word this morning. There's a number of things here. The thing that made me go back to this was the last part of verse 5, where it says, as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Now, this is God speaking directly to Joshua, the aide of Moses, who was his right-hand man, did whatever Moses wanted to be done. And Moses has died, and God is assuring Joshua, I will be with you as I was with Moses. Now think about that for a moment. Moses was the leader from Egypt. Moses was the one who stood out there and held his staff up and the Red Sea parted. And God is saying, Joshua, I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Wow. That I need to hear the assurance day in and day out sometimes that God is with me. That He's going to be with me all my life. He'll never leave me nor forsake me. And I need that reassurance. So I want you to hear that today. God will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. And that's powerful. That's powerful. That's the God who created everything. He's going to be with you. He says, be strong and courageous, because they needed that encouragement. Because what they were going to do sometimes would require strength and courage just to do it. Joshua, march around Jericho every day for 6 days, one time. Blow the horns, then go sit down at the camp and wait till the next day. And then on the 7th day, Joshua, march around the city 7 times, blow the horns, and the walls are going to fall. Now, I think you got to be pretty strong and very courageous to follow out that. But God calls us to step out in faith. The other thing keeps bringing me back to all of this is He says, I will give you every place where you set your foot. In other words, Joshua, I'm here. I will be with you. You need to be strong and courageous, but guess what you got to do? You got to go do it. You got to go do what I tell you to do. And Joshua, if you don't go, it's not going to happen. Joshua, if you don't step out in faith, you'll never know. See, the first generation of Hebrew people that came out of Egypt walked right up to the southern border of the promised land, and they didn't have the faith to go in and do it. And guess what? They never found out. They never found out if they could or if they would be able to. Only two people and their families, Joshua and Caleb. They were the two who believed all along, and they were ready to go. But God said, not now. Be later. Be later. And when it came time, guess what Joshua did? He went. He gathered the people up, and the people followed him, and they went right into the promised land. The Jordan River in the spring of the year at flood season parted, and water backed up, and they walked across on dry ground again. And everywhere Joshua was willing to do what the Lord told him to do, God gave it to him. So get up and go out in faith today, because God will give you whatever you step out in faith and follow him with. Amen.